Hare Krishna. Today we will be discussing text 9 translation of chapter 14 Bhagavad-Gita As It Is. The mode of goodness conditions one to happiness, passions conditions him to the fruits of action, and ignorance to madness. A person in mode of goodness is satisfied by his work or intellectual pursuit, just as a philosopher, scientist, or educator may be engaged in a particular field of knowledge and may be satisfied in that way. A man in the mode of passion and goodness may be engaged in fruitive activity. He owns as much as he can and spends for good causes. Sometimes he tries to open hospitals, give to charity, instructions, etc. These are the signs of one in the mode of passion. And the mode of ignorance covers knowledge. In the mode of ignorance, whatever one does is neither good for him nor for anyone. Text 10 translation. Sometimes the mode of passion becomes prominent, defeating the mode of goodness, O son of Bharata. And sometimes the mode of goodness defeats passion, and at other times the mode of ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always a competition for supremacy. When the mode of passion is prominent, the mode of goodness and ignorance are defeated. When the mode of goodness is prominent, passion and ignorance are defeated. And when the mode of ignorance is prominent, passion and goodness are defeated. This competition is always going on. Therefore, one who is actually intent on advancing in Krishna consciousness has to transcend these three modes. The prominence of some certain mode of nature is manifested in one's dealings, in his activities, in eating, etc. All this will be explained in the later chapters. But if one wants, he can develop by practice the mode of goodness and thus defeat the mode of ignorance and passion. One can similarly develop the mode of passion and defeat goodness and ignorance, or one can develop mode of ignorance and defeat goodness and passion. Although there are these three modes of material nature, if one is determined, he can be blessed by the mode of goodness, and by transcending the mode of goodness, he can be situated in a pure goodness, which is called Vasudeva state, a state in which one can understand the science of God. By the manifestation of the particular activities, it can be understood in what mode of a nature one is situated. Text 11 translation. The manifestations of the mode of goodness can be experienced when all the gates of the body are illuminated by the knowledge. There are 9 gates in the body: 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, the mouth, the genital, and the anus. In every gate, when the symptom of goodness is illuminated, it should be understood that one has developed the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, one can see things in the right position, one can hear things in the right position, and one can taste things in the right position. One becomes cleansed inside and outside. In every gate, there is a development of a symptoms of happiness, and that is a position of goodness. Text 12 translation. O chief of Bharatas, when there is an increase in the mode of passion, the symptoms of a great attachment, uncontrollable desire, hankering, and intense endeavor develop. One in the mode of passion is never satisfied with the position he has already acquired. He hankers to increase his position. If he wants to construct a residential house, he tries his best to have a palatable house, as if he would be able to reside in that house eternally, and he develops a great hankering for sense gratification. There is no end to sense gratification. He always wants to remain with his family and in his house, and to continue the process of sense gratification. There is no cessation of these. All these symptoms should be understood as a characteristics of a mode of passion. Text 13 translation. O son of Kuru, when there is an increase in the mode of ignorance, madness, illusion, inertia, and darkness are manifested. When there is no illumination, knowledge is absent. One is mode of ignorance does not work by a regulative principle. He wants to act whimsically, for no purpose. Even though he has the capacity to work, he makes no endeavor. This is called illusion. Although consciousness is going on, life is inactive. These are the symptoms of one in the mode of ignorance. Text 14, translation. When one dies in the mode of goodness, he attains to the purer, higher planets. One in goodness attains higher planetary systems, like Brahmaloka, Jnanaloka, and there enjoys godly happiness. The word Amalan is significant. It means free from the mode of passion and ignorance. There are impurities in the material world, but the mode of goodness is the purest form of existence in the material world. There are different kind of planets for different kind of living entities. Those who die in the mode of goodness are elevated to the planets where great sages and great devotees live. Text 15, translation. When one dies in the mode of passion, he takes birth among those engaged in fruitive activities, and when he dies in the mode of ignorance, he takes birth in the animal kingdom. Some people have the impression that when the soul reaches the platform of a human life, it never goes down again. This is incorrect. According to these words, if one develops the mode of ignorance, after his death he is degraded to an animal form of life. From there one has to again elevate himself by evolutionary process to come again to the human form of life. Therefore, those who are actually serious about human life should take to the mode of goodness, and in good association transcend the modes and become situated in the Krishna Consciousness. This is the aim of a human life. Otherwise, there is no guarantee that the human being will again attain to the human status. Text 16, translation. By acting in mode of goodness, one becomes purified. Works done in the mode of passion results in distress, and actions performed in the mode of ignorance results in foolishness. By pious activities in the mode of goodness, one is purified. Therefore, the sages who are free from all illusion are situated in happiness. Similarly, activities in the mode of passion are simply miserable. Any activity for material happiness is bound to be defeated. If, for example, one wants to have a skyscraper, so much human mystery has to be undergone before the big skyscraper can be built. The financier has to take much trouble to earn a mass of wealth, and those who are slaving to construct the building have to render the physical toil. The miseries are there. The Bhagavad-Gita says that in any activity performed under the spell of mode of passion, there is definitely a great misery. There may be a little so-called mental happiness. I have this house or this money, but this is not actual happiness. As far as the mode of ignorance is concerned, the performer is without knowledge, and therefore all his activities results in present misery, and afterwards he will go on toward animal life. Animal life is always miserable. Although under the spell of illusionary energy, Maya, the animals do not understand this. Slaughtering poor animals is also due to the mode of ignorance. The animal killers do not know that in the future the animal will have the body suitable to kill him. That is the law of nature. In the human society, if one kills a man, he has to be hanged. That is the law of the state. Because of the ignorance, people do not perceive that there is a complete state controlled by the Supreme Lord. Every living creature is the son of the Supreme Lord, and he does not tolerate even an ant being killed. One has to pay for it. So indulgence in animal killing for the taste of the tongue is the grossest kind of ignorance. A human being has no need to kill animals because God has supplied too many nice things. If one indulges in meat killing anyways, it is to be understood that he is acting in ignorance and is making his future very dark. Of all kind of animal killing, the killing of a cow is most vicious, because the cow gives us all kind of pleasure by supplying milk. Cow slaughter is the act of the grossest type of ignorance. In the Vedic literature, the word Gobi Pranita Matsaram indicate that one who, being fully satisfied by milk, is desirous of killing the cow, is in the grossest ignorance. There is also a prayer in the Vedic literature that states, My Lord, you are the well-wisher of the cows and the brahmanas. and you are the well-wisher of the entire human society and world. The purport is that special mention is given in that prayer for the protection of the cows and brahmanas. Brahmanas are the symbol of a spiritual education, and cows are the symbol of the most valuable food. These two living creatures, the brahmanas and the cows, must be given all protection. That is the advancement of civilization. In modern human society, spiritual knowledge is neglected and cow killing is encouraged. It is to be understood that the human society is advancing in a wrong direction and is clearing the path to its own condemnation. Civilization which guides the citizens to become animals in their next life is certainly not a human civilization. The present human civilization is, of course, grossly misled by the modes of passion and ignorance. It is a very dangerous age, and all nations should take care to provide the easiest process, Krishna Consciousness, to save humanity from the great danger. Text 17 translation. From the mode of goodness, real knowledge develops. From the mode of passion, grief develops. And from the mode of ignorance, foolishness, madness, and illusion develops. Since the present civilization is very congenial to our living entities, Krishna Consciousness is recommended. Though Krishna Consciousness, society will develop the mode of goodness. When the mode of goodness is developed, people will see things as they are. In the mode of ignorance, people are just like animals and cannot see things clearly. In the mode of ignorance, for example, they don't see that by killing one animal, they are taking a chance of being killed by the same animal in the next life. Because people have no education and actual knowledge, they become irresponsible. To stop this irresponsibility, education for developing the mode of goodness of people in general must be there. When they are actually educated in the mode of goodness, there will be sober and full of knowledge of things as they are. Then people will be happily and prosperous. Even if the majority of people aren't happy and prosperous, if certain percentage of the population develops Krishna consciousness and becomes situated in the mode of goodness, then there is a possibility for peace and prosperity all over the world. Otherwise, if the world is devoted to a mode of passion and ignorance, there can be no peace or prosperity. In the mode of passion, people become greedy, and their hankering for sense enjoyment has no limit. One can see that even if one has enough money and adequate arrangement for sense gratification, there is neither happiness nor peace of mind. That is not possible because one is situated in the mode of passion. If one wants happiness at all, his money will not help him. He has to elevate himself to the mode of goodness by practicing Krishna consciousness. One engaged in the mode of passion is not only mentally unhappy, but his profession and occupation are also very troublesome. He has to devise so many plans and schemes to acquire enough money to maintain the status quo. This is all miserable. In the mode of ignorance, people become mad, being distressed by their circumstances. They take shelter of intoxication, and thus they sink further into the ignorance. Their future in life very dark. Text 18 translation. Those situated in the mode of goodness gradually go upward to the higher planets. Those in the mode of passion live on the earthly planets, and those in the mode of ignorance go down to the hellish worlds. In this verse, the results of actions in three modes of nature are more explicitly set forth. There is an upper planetary system consisting of the heavenly planets, where everyone is highly elevated according to the degree of development of the mode of goodness. The living entity can be transferred to various planets in this system. The highest planet is Satyaloka or Brahmaloka, where the prime person of the universe, Lord Brahma, resides. We have seen already that we can hardly calculate the wondrous condition of life in the Brahmaloka, but the highest condition of life, the mode of goodness, can bring us to this. The mode of passion is mixed. It is the middle between the mode of goodness and ignorance. A person is not always pure, but even if he should be purely in the mode of passion, he will simply remain on this earth as a king or a rich man. But because there are mixtures, one can also go down. People on this earth in the mode of passion or ignorance cannot forcibly approach the higher planets by mission. In the mode of passion, there is also a chance of becoming mad in the next life. The lowest quality, the mode of ignorance, is described here as abominable. The result of developing ignorance is very, very risky. It is the lowest quality of a human nature, a material nature. Beneath the human level, there is 8 million species of life, birds, beasts, reptiles, trees, etc. And according to the developmental mode of ignorance, people are brought down to these abominable conditions. The word tamasa is very significant here. Tamasa indicates those who stay continually in the mode of ignorance without rising to higher mode. Their future is very dark. There is opportunity for men in the mode of ignorance and passion to be elevated to mode of goodness, and that system is called Krishna Consciousness. But one who does not take advantage of this opportunity certainly will continue in the lower modes. Which ends the explanation of text 18, translation of chapter 14, Srimad Bhagavad-Gita as it is. Hare Krishna, keep listening. Thank you so much.